In the 1920s, a German philosopher named Eugen Herrigel traveled to Japan with a burning question. He wanted to understand the deepest secrets of Zen Buddhism, but the monks told him something unexpected. They said, "You cannot learn Zen through words alone. You must practice a discipline." So Herrigel began training in Kyudo, the ancient art of Japanese archery, under a legendary master named Wakenzo. For the first 4 years, Herrigel was not allowed to shoot at a real target. He could only aim at a roll of straw just 7 feet away. Day after day, week after week, month after month, the same simple practice. Herrigel grew frustrated. He complained to his master, "When will I be ready to shoot at real targets?" Master Kenzo looked at him with calm eyes and replied, "The way to the target is not to be measured. Of what importance are weeks, months, or years?" When Herrigel was finally permitted to shoot at distant targets, his performance was terrible. His arrows flew wildly off course. He became discouraged with each failed attempt. But then something remarkable happened. One evening, during practice in a dimly lit hall, Master Kenzo shot an arrow that hit the bullseye perfectly. Then, without being able to see the target clearly, he released a second arrow. It struck the first arrow, splitting it down the center. Herrigel was stunned. How could anyone achieve such precision without even seeing what they were aiming at? The master smiled and said something that changed Herrigel's understanding forever. "It is not the target that matters. It is not even the arrow that matters. What matters is the state of your mind in the moment between drawing the bow and releasing the arrow. That moment, that complete awareness, that is Zanshin." This story reveals a profound truth about human attention that the samurai understood centuries ago. We live in a world obsessed with results, with hitting targets, with reaching finish lines. We measure success by outcomes, by achievements, by the things we can show to others. But the samurai knew something different. They knew that true mastery, true power, true excellence comes not from focusing on the destination, but from perfecting the quality of attention we bring to each moment of the journey. Zanshin is a word that appears throughout Japanese martial arts, and when you understand its deeper meaning, you understand why samurai warriors could maintain razor-sharp focus even in the chaos of battle. The literal translation is the mind with no remainder. Think about that for a moment. A mind with no remainder means a mind that is completely present, completely engaged, with no part of it scattered or distracted or dwelling somewhere else. In practical terms, Zanshin refers to a state of relaxed alertness. Not tense vigilance that exhausts you, not casual attention that allows things to slip past you, but a quality of awareness that is both fully engaged and completely at ease. It is the ability to be constantly aware of your body, your mind, and your surroundings without stressing yourself. It is effortless vigilance. But Zanshin has an even deeper meaning that goes far beyond martial arts. Zanshin is choosing to live your life intentionally and acting with purpose rather than mindlessly falling victim to whatever comes your way. There is a famous Japanese proverb that captures this wisdom perfectly. It says, after winning the battle, tighten your helmet. In other words, the battle does not end when you win. The battle only ends when you get lazy, when you lose your sense of commitment, and when you stop paying attention. Think about how this applies to your own life. How many times have you worked hard to achieve something, only to relax your effort the moment you succeeded? You finally land that job, so you stop growing your skills. You finally lose that weight, so you abandon the habits that got you there. You finally complete that project, so you let your standards slip on the next one. The samurai understood that victory without continued vigilance is just the beginning of defeat. Modern neuroscience is now confirming what the samurai knew from experience. Research into sustained attention reveals that our brains are not naturally designed to maintain focus for extended periods. Studies show that even in simple tasks, our attention begins to waver within minutes. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus and decision-making, becomes fatigued when it works too hard to suppress distractions. Scientists call this the vigilance decrement, the natural decline in performance that happens when we try to maintain attention over time. But here is what makes Zanshin different from ordinary concentration. Concentration is effortful. It requires you to force your attention onto something while actively fighting against distractions. This creates mental tension and leads to rapid fatigue. Zanshin, by contrast, is a state where attention flows naturally. There is no forcing, no fighting, no exhausting inner struggle. The mind is alert but relaxed, focused but flexible, engaged but not strained. The samurai developed specific practices to cultivate this state, and these practices work not by increasing willpower, but by training a different relationship with attention itself. Let me explain how this works and how you can develop this capability in your own life. The foundation of Zanshin begins with understanding what destroys attention in the first place. Most people believe distractions come from outside, from phones buzzing, people talking, or environments being too noisy. But the samurai understood that external disturbances are not the real problem. The real problem is how your mind responds to those disturbances. A mind trained in Zanshin can maintain its focus even in chaos because it has learned not to grab onto distractions when they appear. Picture a clear mountain lake. When the water is still, it perfectly reflects everything around it. But when wind disturbs the surface, the reflection becomes distorted and broken. Your attention is like that lake. External events are like the wind. Most people try to stop the wind, to eliminate all disturbances from their environment. But the samurai took a different approach. They trained themselves to become like deep water that remains calm even when the surface is disturbed. This is the first principle of Zanshin training. You do not try to eliminate distractions. You train your mind to remain centered regardless of what happens around you. This is why Master Kenzo did not teach Herigel in a quiet, isolated room. He taught him in a regular practice hall where other students trained, where doors opened and closed, where life continued normally. Because the goal was not to create perfect conditions for focus. The goal was to develop a quality of attention that does not depend on perfect conditions. The second principle of Zanshin involves the breath. Master Kenzo told Herigel, "You cannot do it because you do not breathe right. If it is done properly, you will feel the shooting becoming easier every day." This was not mystical advice. This was practical neuroscience. Your breath directly influences your nervous system. When you breathe shallow and fast, high in your chest, you activate your sympathetic nervous system, your stress response. This creates tension in your body and agitation in your mind. But when you breathe slowly and deeply, low in your belly, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your relaxation response. The samurai practiced what they called hara breathing, breathing from the center. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Breathe normally and notice which hand moves more. If your chest hand moves more than your belly hand, you are breathing in a way that promotes tension rather than calm. To practice hara breathing, imagine you have a balloon in your belly that you are inflating with each inhale. Your belly should expand while your chest stays relatively still. On the exhale, your belly naturally contracts. This simple adjustment changes your entire nervous system state and creates the physiological foundation for Zanshin. The third principle of Zanshin is what the samurai called eight-directional awareness. This is not about trying to pay attention to everything at once. That would scatter your focus and exhaust you quickly. Instead, it is about maintaining a quality of presence that is aware without being actively engaged with everything. Think of it like peripheral vision. You are not looking directly at what is in your peripheral vision, but you remain aware of it. If something important appears there, you notice it immediately without having to search for it. This is how a master swordsman could face multiple opponents. He did not try to watch all of them simultaneously. He maintained a state of open awareness where any movement from any direction would register instantly. Modern research calls this ambient awareness or diffuse attention, and studies show that meditation practices specifically strengthen this capacity. When you train your brain to maintain this open, receptive state, you become far more effective than when you try to focus narrowly on one thing while blocking everything else out. The fourth principle, and perhaps the most important, is that Zanshin extends beyond the completion of an action. This is what makes it different from ordinary focus. Most people concentrate intensely while doing something, then immediately relax and lose awareness the moment it is finished. An archer focuses carefully while aiming and releasing the arrow, then drops his attention the instant the arrow leaves the bow. But Master Kenzo taught something different. After releasing the arrow, the true master maintains his posture, his breath, his awareness. His attention follows the arrow's flight. He does not celebrate or relax until the action is completely finished. This is the essence of Zanshin. The word itself, remaining mind, points to this quality of sustained presence that continues before, during, and after an action. It is the sniper who remains still and alert even after taking the shot. It is the surgeon who maintains focus even after completing the procedure. It is the martial artist who keeps his guard up even after his opponent is down. Because the samurai understood that the moment you drop your awareness is precisely the moment you become vulnerable. Think about how this applies to your daily work. How often do you rush through the end of a task because you are eager to move to the next one? You write an email and hit send without reading it one more time. You complete a project and submit it without final review. You finish a conversation and walk away without ensuring everything was truly resolved. This lack of Zanshin, this failure to maintain attention through completion, is why so much of our work contains careless errors and why so many of our efforts fall short of our capabilities. The samurai had a practice called viewing the morning star, beginning each day in quiet reflection when the mind is naturally clear. This was not religious ritual but practical psychology. Modern research confirms that the first hour of your day strongly influences your mental state for all the remaining hours. If you begin your day by immediately grabbing your phone and flooding your mind with information, emails, and notifications, you train your attention to be scattered and reactive. But if you begin your day with even 5 minutes of calm awareness, you set a completely different foundation. Here is a simple practice to begin developing Zanshin in your own life. When you wake up tomorrow morning, do not reach for your phone. Sit up in bed and take 3 slow, deep breaths, breathing low into your belly. As you breathe, simply notice what you notice. The feeling of the sheets against your skin, the temperature of the air, the quality of light in the room, the sounds around you. Do not try to analyze or think about anything. Just notice with relaxed awareness for 5 minutes. This simple practice begins to train the quality of attention that the samurai called Zanshin. As you go through your day, practice maintaining awareness through the completion of tasks. When you send an email, pause for 3 seconds before moving to the next thing. When you finish a conversation, take 1 conscious breath before walking away. When you complete any action, resist the urge to immediately rush to what comes next. This practice of Zanshin, of sustained attention that extends beyond the apparent end of an action, will transform the quality of everything you do. We live in a world that constantly pulls our attention in 1,000 directions. Notifications, messages, emails, news, entertainment, all designed with billions of dollars of research to capture and hold our focus. Fighting this with willpower alone is like Master Kenzo's student trying to force the arrow to hit the target. It might work occasionally, but it cannot be sustained. Zanshin offers a different path, not fighting against distraction, but cultivating a quality of attention that naturally resists being pulled away from what matters. The practice of Zanshin is not about achieving some perfect state where you never get distracted. Even Master Kenzo's attention wandered sometimes. The practice is about developing the ability to notice when your attention has wandered and gently return it to where you want it to be. Each time you notice distraction and return to focus, you strengthen your capacity for Zanshin. It is like doing push-ups for the mind. The value is not in never falling, the value is in the repeated practice of getting back up. Remember what Master Kenzo told Herigel. The way to the target is not to be measured. Your journey toward developing Zanshin, toward mastering sustained attention that never breaks, will not happen overnight. But it will happen. Not through dramatic transformation, but through small, consistent practice. 5 minutes of morning awareness, 3 conscious breaths between tasks, 1 moment of sustained presence after completing an action. These tiny practices, repeated daily, build into something remarkable. The point is not to worry about hitting the target. The point is to fall in love with the boredom of doing the work and embrace each piece of the process. The point is to take that moment of Zanshin, that moment of complete awareness and focus, and carry it with you everywhere in life. It is not the target that matters. It is not the finish line that matters. It is the way we approach the goal that matters. Everything is aiming. Everything is practice. Every moment is an opportunity to cultivate Zanshin, to develop the unbreakable attention that made the samurai masters of both war and peace. Not through force, not through struggle, but through the elegant practice of complete presence. After winning the battle, tighten your helmet. After achieving your goal, maintain your discipline. After completing your work, sustain your awareness. This is Zanshin, this is the path. And write in the comments, I will master sustained attention through Zanshin. Thank you for watching.